Welcome back. Today, the CEO of TikTok announced it now has more than 150 million American users. That means almost half of all Americans use the app.
His comment comes days before he is due to testify in front of Congress as lawmakers continue to pressure the Chinese company to either sell its stake or face a nationwide ban. Joining us tonight to analyze this issue is David Derigiotis, a cybersecurity expert. Thank you so much for joining us. And simply put it like this, just what are the cybersecurity concerns here over this app that seems so popular?
Sure. Well, TikTok is no different than any other social media application in that their data collection practices are far-reaching. It's no different than Meta. It's no different than Twitter, any other organization that we all use on a daily basis. But what it comes down to is who are we comfortable with our information being shared with? Are we okay with it being shared with big tech? Are we okay with it being shared with the U.S. government? Or does it raise a different level of concern if it's the Chinese government in the name of foreign intelligence?
So the CEO has been kind of making the rounds in the media over the past several days. And last week he was saying a change in ownership wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't alleviate those national security concerns. Does he have a point there? Well,
here's the thing. Right now, they already bifurcate how the information is stored. Any type of information that's collected on all U.S. consumers, businesses, anyone that's using the application here within the States, they have it set up separately so it's walled off from China. But the concern is because of the laws that exist in China with regards to security, with regards to privacy, there's no telling if the government wanted to overstep and obtain that information in the name of foreign intelligence. That's what it comes down to. There's not a lot of transparency around it, so we would never know if they wanted access to that information.
We've seen government after government ban it for government officials. But for the average person, would a ban be helpful? I mean, if TikTok is looking at information on my phone, they're not going to find anything, right? I mean, it's boring. So at the end of the day, is this essential for governments around the country, including the United States, or should this be banned essentially for every human being on the face of the earth?
I think it's more critical depending on what your role is and what you have to lose if your information were to become public. The stakes are certainly higher as it relates to any type of government, any type of security work that you're in. If you have a higher need for privacy, you should absolutely be thinking about that. I also think children as well. There's a lot of information that's collected. Again, TikTok is no different than any other social media application. They're watching the sites that you visit, whether you have the app or not. They're able to track you around the internet. They're looking at your location, IP address, the device you have, all the different pages that you're visiting. All of that is out there. The question is your role, whether it's government or private sector business, could it have a damaging impact on you or the business if that information got into the wrong hands? That's what people need to think about.
So to take that a little further, if you are just an average civilian, you don't have sensitive information, you're just looking at cat videos all day, should you be concerned about potential spying from a foreign nation?
Well, you're probably asking the wrong person because I'm concerned about all of that. I have a little bit of paranoia as it relates to privacy and cybersecurity. It's the type of work that I'm in. So I think you need to assess, again, what can you lose? Even if it is a child, if it is a parent, if it is the everyday average consumer, what are you looking at? What type of information are you concerned about getting into the wrong hands? What if there's a data breach? What if it's shared with big tech, as we know it is, because big advertising is a cash cow. All of us represent dollar signs for advertisers that are out there. Everyone has to make the individual assessment. You have to do your own risk threat assessment and determine, are you okay with that information being shared and what can I hide or what can I protect?
When the CEO testifies in front of Congress, what do you think is going to come of this? And at the end of the day, how do you see this playing out?
I think there's one question that everybody's going to be paying attention to, and that's how are you sharing or are you sharing your information with the Chinese government? What are you going to do if they come knocking and they want access to that information? I will tell you that's the question that all of government, Congress, and everyone in the U.S. will be paying very close attention to.
And will we believe him, though?
That's the question. Even if he says no, what power does he have? If the government comes knocking for that information, they want access to it, there's only so far you can go. There's only so many times you can say no before they get it.
Is there any precedent for this? Do you see any future in which it is actually banned for everyone, regardless of whether you work for the government or not?
I think it's a possibility. I think there would be a real loss for freedom. I think individuals should be able to make those choices themselves. Of course, when you work for certain private company sectors, you work for the government, they are able to mandate those type of rules around what apps you're allowed to use, what type of social media, and I think it's important. We all need to be very careful about how we share our personal and work life, and this is an instance where we need to be very mindful of that.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate the insight. David Derigiotis, cybersecurity expert and chief insurance officer with Broker. Thank you so much for being here tonight.